The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. orders the Department of Agriculture to implement a data-driven information system in every planting season.
Presidential sister and Senator Amy Marcos believes there is a danger associated with the proposal to amend the economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution.
Protesters from the transport groups Manibela and Piston were denied entry into Manila by the Manila Police District, citing the absence of a permit as the reason for the restriction.
And the World Health Organization is making a global appeal for a substantial $1.5 billion in funding to bolster humanitarian efforts across the globe.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, January 16, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Marvi Delfin.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Orlin Quijano.
First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. convened a meeting with several cabinet members, including officials from the Department of Agriculture. The discussion once again tackled issues related to agriculture, particularly addressing problems such as excessive harvests going to waste. In response to this concern, the Department of Agriculture has outlined plans to proactively tackle and find sustainable solutions for the pressing issue of food wastage. Nel Maribuhok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has ordered the Department of Agriculture or DA to implement a data-driven information system in every planting season to address overproduction of agricultural products in the market. In a meeting with agriculture officials at the Malacanang Palace on Tuesday, January 16, President Marcos said farmers should be equipped with the necessary information to limit the production of agricultural products that are only sellable in the market. The Agriculture Department presented its 3-year plan para sa Masaganang Bagong Pilipinas. The plan, under the Masagana Agri-Food Infrastructure Modernization Program of the National Food Authority, will focus on expanding agri-fishery areas for increased production, modernizing agri and fishery production system, and developing and improving post-harvest systems and infrastructure. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. said the government will need 93 billion pesos to build post-harvest facilities in the next 3 years to save 10.7 billion pesos a year rice and corn wastage.
We need 93 billion in the next 3 years in order to save 10.7 billion a year. On wasted rice and corn.
The secretary pointed out that the agency has a lot of infrastructure projects to be built, like ports, agri-industrial ports, and cold storage facilities to address the vegetable issues that come from time to time from overproduction.
30% of our produce, especially of vegetables, is gone because of wastage, because of the poor logistics system in our food supply chain.
The Agri-Chief added that he intends to reorganize the department to make it less regulatory but still effective and developmental in regulations and food safety. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, we serve the people, we give glory to God.
Has expressed her preference for legislative action over constitutional amendments. The presidential sister also shared that she would favor the process of legislating or passing a new law rather than pursuing amendments to the current Philippine Constitution. Dante Amento tells us why.
Presidential sister Senator Amy Marcos believes there is a danger over the proposal to amend the economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution. The legislator explained it is inevitable that somebody may insert another provision, such as political provisions, during the process of revision.
Kasi pag pinuklat ang saligang batas, hindi mo mapagpapawalan na maghain ng kung ano pang provision na wala nang kinalaman sa economic provision.
Senator Marcos further said instead of amending the present constitution, it would be prudent to pass a new law. There is allegedly a problem with the timing, especially that in the next few months, legislators will again be engaged in political activities for the 2025 elections. And it is not the solution for the current problems the country is facing, such as the high prices of goods.
Una, con us is a slippery slope, ika nga. Dahil baka mapuklat, pati political. At ikalawa, bukas pa rin dapat ang isipan natin na gawin na lamang batas. Baguhin na lang sa batas. Sabi nga, in accordance with law.
Meanwhile, Senator Marcos is firm in investigating the issue of the proposed People's Initiative to amend the Constitution. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Protesters from the transport groups Manibela and Piston found themselves barred from entering Manila. The Manila Police District cited the absence of a permit as the reason for denying entry to the demonstrators. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The transport groups Manibela and Piston have once again taken to the streets, conducting a protest to voice their grievances against the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program or PUVMP. The demonstration began with a caravan at the University Avenue in Quezon City around 11 a.m., making its way towards Mendiola in Manila. However, when the protesters reached Welcome Rotonda, their path was blocked by a group of policemen deployed by the Manila Police District. Negotiations ensued between Manibela's chairman, Mar Valbuena, and the police officials. According to the Manila Police District, they couldn't allow the protesters to reach Mendiola as they had failed to secure the necessary permit. The police also cited a violation from the previous protest where the agreement was breached when the demonstrators extended their program until 10 p.m. before dispersing at Mendiola.
Yung mandato ng batas ay ginagawa lang po namin bilang isang pulis na nagseserbisyo sa bayan. Wala silang permit, yun po number 1 po doon. Kung gusto nila talagang magdaos ng matiwasay na tinatawag na itong ginaganap ngayon na rally, may naman po tayong Freedom Park. Panggigipit itong pakiramdam na to. Alam namin napag-utusan lang sila nang nakatataas sa kanila. Tinanggalan na kami ng hanap buhay. Pinapahirapan pa rin kami hanggang kalsada.
Manibela claims that around 10,000 protesters, including members of Piston and other groups, participated in the demonstration coming from Cavite, Laguna, Quezon, Rizal, Bulacan, and Pampanga. Despite the police intervention, Manibela and Piston continue to call on the president to reconsider the decision on implementing the PUVMP. They express concerns about the potential loss of jobs for thousands of Filipino drivers of traditional jeepneys starting February 1.
Umaasa tayo ng ating Pangulo ay mapapakinggan po tayo na makabalik kami sa aming hanap buhay. Yung mga tao talaga, kung talagang consolidation sila, hindi po sila sasama. At maliwanag po na yung consolidation na ito sa pilitan at maraming natakot, maraming pinilit, at marami ring tinakot.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
It's a call for collective preparedness as the Philippines faces heightened threats from natural disasters. Based on the 2023 report from the World of Statistics, the country received the highest scores among nations with high risks of earthquakes, floods, droughts, and tsunamis. The emphasis on preparedness extends beyond the government, with a plea for public awareness, especially in Metro Manila. As the Philippines grapples with its vulnerability to major calamities, there's a growing need for comprehensive programs aimed at reducing casualties.
Kahit yung sa katanungan niyo po, sa napakarami nating posibleng danasin ng mga kalamidad, yan na po talaga ang sitwasyon ho natin. Kaya hindi po tayo titigil. Pag ako tinanong niyo, maghahabol tayo sa paghahanda. Medyo maghahabol pa ho tayo talaga. Ang una-una magliligtas sa ating sarili kasi tayo muna, tayong mga mamamayan. Ang pamahalaan ay nandyan upang ibigay ang framework, pagsasanay, yung malalaking infrastruktura. Pero dalawang kamay po yan, yung private sector at government sector.
Efforts are underway to collaborate with local governments, conducting wide and deep simultaneous hazardous and earthquake drills. The Office of Civil Defense, or OCD, stresses the importance of evaluating the location of houses, advising prospective buyers to consider potential risks. In February, the OCD is set to relaunch a program aimed at reinforcing the campaign, providing accurate knowledge and preparation for the potential impact of the big one.
Kaya sinasabi ko, maghahabol tayo. Ibig sabihin ng maghahabol, kung may papababa natin yung projection na yan, doon natin masasabing, handa tayo. Huwag natin tanggapin na parang natural lang, na may parang ruleta ba? Sino na lang yung malasin na mamatay na 50,000? Hindi dapat ganon.
In an update from the Philippine National Police, it has been clarified that there are no missing case photos of erring police officers in Metro Manila. The PNP spokesperson, Police Colonel Jean Fajardo, stated that some case photos were merely misplaced, and after a thorough accounting, they were successfully located.
So there was a misconception na nawawala ito. But it turned out, ma'am, nakita po itong mga folders po na ito na sa ibang mga opisina. Kasi ma'am, yung storage nga po, ang nakitang problema dyan, kausap ko po yung R1, yung storage po nila iba-iba. So nung hinahanap po nila doon sa isang lugar, which they believe na nandun yung mga case folder, ay wala po doon. So pinuntahan po nila doon sa isang storage, temporary storage facility na pinaglagyan po nila dahil naglipat po sila ng opisina. Nakita naman po doon.
This clarification comes in response to the earlier statement from NCRPO Director Police Major General Jose Melencio Nartatas Jr., who mentioned last Friday that upon assuming office in July 2023, he discovered a missing case folder involving some erring cops, prompting him to initiate an investigation into the matter.
And for the news abroad, Hamas has reportedly shown what appears to be the bodies of 2 Israeli hostages following a warning to Israel to cease its bombardment of Gaza. Despite this warning, the conflict has taken a turn for the worse, with Israeli planes and tanks launching intensified attacks in the region. Annie Mencilia will give us the details live. Yes, Annie, good evening.
Oralin, in a disturbing development, a new video aired by the Palestinian group Hamas on Monday, January 15, purportedly showed the lifeless bodies of 2 Israelis identified as Yossi Sharabi, 53, and Itai Shrivsky, 38. These hostages were initially displayed in captivity on Sunday as a start warning, suggesting they could face harm if Israel did not halt its attacks on Gaza. Furthermore, the footage featured a third Israeli hostage, 26-year-old Noah Argami, who appeared to be reading a script, alleging that her fellow hostages were killed by Israeli strikes. Israeli military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari countered these claims, asserting that Israeli forces do not target buildings with hostages, only the surrounding areas. Israeli forensic officials examined the recovered bodies of the hostages, determining causes of death inconsistent with Hamas' claim that they perished in Israeli airstrikes. Out of the 240 people captured by Hamas on October 7, approximately half were released during the short-lived November truce. According to Israel, 132 individuals are still in captivity, with 25 reported deaths in imprisonment. Meanwhile, as night arrived, residents encountered Israeli planes and tanks intensified their attacks again across Gaza. According to Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, military pressure is required so that Hamas would have a reason to release more hostages. Back to you, Arlen.
Thank you, Annie.
Monday, January 15, the World Health Organization, or WHO, appealed for $1.5 billion in funding support to humanitarian aid across the globe. This funding aims to give support to people experiencing difficulty in dozens of humanitarian crises ongoing worldwide. According to WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the organization's goal is to reach people with life-saving humanitarian assistance this year. The organization highlighted the occupied Palestinian territories, specifically Gaza, as the health emergency in dire need of medical relief and humanitarian aid. In addition, they are also budgeting for global COVID funding and the 23.7 million people who need access to clean water and sanitation in Afghanistan. Moreover, the World Health Organization is concerned with the resurgence of cholera around the world. WHO directors stated that they are aiming to reach 166 million people in total who are estimated to need health assistance in the world this year.
The Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development has approved a 4% rental increase in residential houses. According to the Undersecretary Henry Yap, this adjustment will particularly benefit tenants paying less than 10,000 pesos in rent. Jen Narasina tells us why.
The Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development Undersecretary Henry Yap has confirmed that the 4% increase in the rent of rental houses has been effective since January 1 and will continue until the end of 2024. According to DHSUD, tenants paying less than 10,000 pesos are covered by this increase, while those paying more are not affected.
So only existing tenants na nagbabayad na ng 10,000 and below ang covered nitong rent control. So kung mayroong mga renta dyan na above 10,000, hindi na sakop nung cap na to.
Yap clarified that this rental increase applies solely to residential houses, including dormitories and bed spaces. However, the increase cannot be implemented immediately if the current contract between the landlord and tenant has not yet concluded. Yap emphasized the importance of finishing the existing contract before applying the 4% rental increase. And he added that penalties such as fines or imprisonment may be imposed on those who do not comply.
Kung malaman na hindi talaga sila sumusunod, mayroong karampatang penalty, may multa, at may kulong. No? Ang penalty po natin dito is 25,000 minimum to 50,000 max, or imprisonment na 1 month and 1 day up to a maximum of 6 months or both.
The news has raised concerns among students like Rain, Julpritz, and Lian, who fear a tighter budget if the owner of their dormitory decides to implement the increase. From an average of 5,000 pesos per month, they may face an additional 200 pesos in monthly rent.
Kasi apat din po kami magkakapatid, and dalawa po sa amin nagdo-dorm. So, pag nag-increase po, I guess mababawasan po yung allowance ko instead of matataasan yung budget ko, mas mababawi po siya sa allowance.
Ang hirap kung magkakaroon ng 4% increase yung every residential dorms dito po.
Mas mahihirapan po kasi nga po, ipinagkakasya na nga po namin yung magiging allowance namin, then mahahati po ulit yun, ipangdadagdag po sa rent ng dorm namin.
As for Crispin Onyada, he acknowledges that the 4% increase is a bit heavy, but he is open to it as long as the place he's renting remains suitable.
Okay lang po, depende po sa serbisyo din po sa boarding house namin. Okay lang. Kasi libre naman po lahat yung mga ilaw. Pero pag depende kasi yun, sir. Alam niyo naman kami, budgeted lang po yung, kasi once na bumaba niya kami galing sa barko, wala na kaming income. Kaya ganon. Medyo mabigat pero wala na tayong magagawa kung ganon talaga sa may-ari ng boarding house.
Based on DHSUD records, approximately 2.72 million families renting for less than 10,000 pesos are affected by the rental increase. While this change may have a positive effect on some, it is clear that the increase poses financial challenges for others. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In the wake of the declared acute gastroenteritis outbreak, tourism in Baguio City is facing significant disruptions. Mayor Benjamin Magalong has taken swift action, ordering an expedited investigation into the source of the contamination. The urgency is driven by the need to address the issue before the upcoming Panagbenga Festival celebration next month. Grace Flores will tell us why.
Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong admitted that the declared outbreak had an effect on the tourism and economy because tourists did not continue with their plans to go to the City of Pines. Largest mall in the city with 80 tenants where gastroenteritis incident recorded, restaurants also suffered from a decrease in sales. According to Mayor Benjamin Magalong, their sales dropped by 20% after the gastroenteritis outbreak was declared. Vendor RJ at Burnham Park sales also dropped.
Matumal po ma'am dahil nga po dun sa sinasabi nilang yun. Yung outbreak na ganito ganyan dahil sa water. Yung syempre ma'am takot silang bumili kung saan-saan.
Tourists rents and can from Tagaytay due to the fear of gastroenteritis. They bring their own water. They were almost unable to continue or cancel the trip to Baguio when they heard the news of the gastroenteritis outbreak in the city.
Well, actually, kung una naging hesitant kami, nagtutuloy kami sa trip namin. Pero sabi ko, magbaon na lang kami ng tubig.
Nag-prepare kami ahead of time.
Ayun ang naging namin, prevention namin. Diba? Actually, sarili kaming water.
Even the night market in the city has not been that many of tourists who come and buy food from the street foods in the area because of the fear of getting sick. Meanwhile, in the letter of the Hotel and Restaurant Association of Baguio to its hotel members, the group reminded the implementation of consistent and enhanced sanitation protocols, observing food safety and hygiene, monitoring the health of the staff and relationship with the concerns. It is also said that the members of the hotel should explain to their guests some protocols that they will do as a precaution for illness, and the hotel members should work together to avoid such illness. Grace Flores, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Health has announced that the gastroenteritis outbreak in Baguio City is now contained. The agency reported a total of 3,000 cases of diarrhea based on self-reporting. Gladys Tuwabi tells us why.
The Department of Health or DOH says contaminated water doesn't come from the main water source in Baguio City that caused diarrhea of residents in the city. According to the agency, the said outbreak is now contained, which actually affected 3,000 individuals.
Ang magandang balita po, yung main water source sa Baguio City, lahat ng water samples po doon ay negative. Ito mga nag-positive po ay doon sa mga nagdi-deliver po ng tubig.
Tests from the water sampling reveals that they are water tested positive of total coliform and fecal coliform.
At batid nyo na rin po na maraming iilang mga water samples po ang nag-test either sa total coliform or fecal coliform. Pag fecal coliform po, ibig sabihin nun ay galing sa isang tao na may sakit, kaya po maaring ito ang naging dahilan po ng naturang outbreak sa Baguio City.
Following the gastroenteritis outbreak in Baguio City, the Department of Health and the local government are collaborating closely to ensure that a similar incident won't occur again. The joint efforts aim to enhance public health measures and prevent the re-emergence of such outbreaks in the future. While the situation is under control, residents are still advised to take precautions by continuing to boil their water before use. This serves as a crucial step in maintaining water safety and preventing the spread of waterborne diseases. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, an Israeli spy headquarters located in Iraq's Kurdistan region has been attacked by Iran, the Iranian Revolutionary Guards say. Paul Gatchalian tells us why.
Tensions are escalating in the Middle East as Iran declares revenge for recent events leading to the deaths of 3 members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, in Syria. And as a response to the atrocities of Israel's Zionist regime, the Revolutionary Guard Corps say that Iranian ballistic missiles have destroyed Israeli espionage headquarters located in Iraq's Kurdistan region. These attacks, however, have not gone without consequences. Iraqi Prime Minister Masoud Barzani has condemned Iran's actions, labeling them as a crime against the Kurdish people. The reported casualties include at least 4 people killed and 6 injured in the Kurdistan region. In a defiant stance, Iran vows to continue backing and supporting Hamas against Israel, signaling an ongoing offensive by the Revolutionary Guard Corps. Meanwhile, the United States has condemned Iran's actions, characterizing them as reckless. It's worth noting that the area of the attack was near the U.S. consulate, though there have been no confirmed U.S. casualties at this time. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe.
Not only was Filipino music celebrated at the 9th Wish Music Awards held at the Araneta Coliseum, but it also brought immense joy to the charitable organizations chosen by this year's Artists of the Year. Jedna Resina will tell us why.
It was a night of triumph for OPM artists and their beneficiaries at the 9th Wish Music Awards. The event showcased various talents, highlighting the goodwill and positive impact created by our fellow countrymen. 10 charitable organizations were selected as beneficiaries of this year's awards. This year, 10 charitable organizations have been selected as beneficiaries of the 9th Wish Music Awards. Pangarap Foundation Incorporated, Rise Against Hunger, Handicap Care Association Incorporated. Also included are Hospicio de San Jose, Tondo Community Initiative Foundation, Philippine Educational Theater Association, as well as Cancer Treatment and Support Incorporated, Smile Train Philippines Foundation Incorporated, Philippine Cerebral Palsy Incorporated, and finally, Center for Excellence in Special Education. Each chosen beneficiary received 100,000 pesos alongside cash prizes for the winning artists. The charitable organizations expressed joy and gratitude for being selected at the 9th Wish Music Awards, emphasizing the significant help the received prize will provide. The beneficiaries plan to use the funds for various programs within their groups and towards those they assist.
Malaking tulong to para sa daily operation namin. So syempre may mga bata kami ngayon na mga kabataan na magbe-benefit sa event na to. So we have 38 boys in the shelter, lahat sila mga nag-aaral. So yung tulong na maibibigay ninyo, particular ito makakatulong sa pag-aaral nila, sa aming mga pangangailangan sa araw-araw.
Malaking tulong talaga para sa mga bata because para sa amin, ang maliit na contribution, maliit man o malaki, nakakatulong yan sa pagbibigay ng libreng operasyon para sa mga bata.
They extend their thanks to the advocacy of Wish 1075, recognizing the platform not only for honoring Filipino music, but also for extending support to groups like theirs.
Nagpapasalamat kami sa pagpili sa amin na maging isa sa mga beneficiaries ninyo. At masayang-masaya pati ang mga bata na isa kami sa mga napili. Maraming salamat.
For all of those who will win and even those who are nominated, you'll continue to support organizations such as Mildred and other nominees and other potential beneficiaries. And for those who are listening to Wish, always support original Filipino music.
This marks a promising start, not just for the triumphant OPM artists, but for everyone who has reached and been part of the Wish Music Awards. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our Kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity from Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time through the social media accounts of the members Church of God International.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 25, it says, "The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe." And those are the reasons behind the news. January 16th, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Oralyn Quijano, live from Toronto, Canada.
Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Marvi Delfin, live from Australia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.